Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of MGTOW Stories. I am really pumped up to get this new series started, and also welcome to the 50th upload of the MGTOW Academy YouTube channel. I'm not sure if you guys just heard that, but that was a real surge of excitement in my voice. That is a milestone, man. 50 uploads. Let's pray that that number only continue skyward. So I don't want to take too much of your time. That's kind of the whole point of starting the series. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's story. I'm pulling this bad boy off of Reddit, our MGTOW community on Reddit. The story will be posted in the description, so you guys can check it out yourselves. And it's posted by TW1NM3T30R, and it's titled "How I Found MGTOW and How It Saved My Life." Let's begin. I know this will be a read, but I figure it's time I share my full story. Several years ago, I was a simp. I will admit that. I used to date and seek a relationship for the benefits. I thought I was looking for valid reasons. I got every name and label you could think of: loser, doormat, blue pill, simp, boring. I figured at the time, those who labeled me never really knew my intentions and just used it as a way to push themselves forward, and I let them have their fun. I do admit I was a doormat at the time. 4 years ago, I met my now horrible ex-girlfriend. Everything all started out okay. We went on a few dates, had some good times together. I felt like I found the one I would be with. That was until a year in, I started seeing who she really was. I moved in with her a year or so into the relationship, and I saw her side that every person doesn't wish to show to their significant other. Granted, nobody is perfect. I have my flaws as well, but that was a nightmare that only started. Just to kind of, sum up everything, her financial situation was a mess. Didn't pay her bills, credit card maxed out, spending her paycheck on drinks instead of her basic essentials. It got to the point where the doormat personality of me started turning into the, logical, common sense, do this personality. I didn't see any wrong with saying, hey, maybe you should pay your bills before buying drinks. That was the start of hell for me. The start of a 2-year war with myself and her mother. So not only does this poor guy have to deal with his horrible ex-girlfriend, he also has to deal with her mother. Her mother, I found out, was a complete lunatic. She tried to get more involved in our relationship. I get when a parent wants to be involved in their child's life, but this was the level which I was dating my ex and her mom. Always over, always trying to get involved, always putting her 2 cents in regardless of the situation. Did I mention she blamed me for stealing her daughter from her? Yeah, I got that quite a bit. She hated my guts and severely hated me telling my ex to do basic adult responsibilities. And it got to the point 2 years in that an argument was made every day. So 2 years into the relationship, there was an argument happening every day. My ex-girlfriend got lazier, didn't pick up after herself, and she would either be at work or in bed. Never clean her dishes, and that kind of stuff. I lost my job and had to find work an hour away, which was a big mess. I would drive an hour, work an 8-hour shift, drive home an hour to clean up after her, and while at the most she worked a 4 to 6 hour day of 2 jobs, compared to his 8-hour shift and 2-hour total drive time and cleaning up after her. Did it get worse? Oh yes, it for sure did. Let me just get to the end of the 3rd year. So now we're at the end of the 3rd year of their relationship together. As things got worse and worse, things took its toll on me. I was suffering from burnout disorder and stressed far beyond what my body could handle. I swear I could have been in the hospital with how sick I felt. One day, one of my girlfriend's cats, she had 3 cats, which I had to clean up after, had to be put down. And we were all saddened by what happened. Sadly, my ex took it too hard as she tried to commit suicide by overdose. I get a phone call at work from her mother telling me she's in the hospital fighting for her life. I couldn't even imagine what happened at the time. I told my boss between the time of telling my boss to walking into the emergency room, as it was all a blur. She was able to get stabilized, but was in the hospital for a few days. While she was, while she was there, her mother and I went to our place and saw the mess that her daughter left. I told her mother, "This is all your daughter, and this is what I have to clean up." We spent the weekend cleaning up, but my ex-girlfriend got discharged early. Her and her mother went to her mother's house for a week, leaving me with the mess to clean up. Every day for a week, drive an hour, work 8 hours, drive back an hour, clean for hours, crash until bed. By Friday, they came back and I lost it at them. Telling them leaving me here with the mess was absolutely ridiculous. I got called an a-hole for simply standing my ground and telling them off. Now, I felt bad after because I felt it wasn't fair in a sense to my ex-girlfriend. She just got out of the hospital and I shouldn't have gotten mad at the time by adding stress to her. I decided to be there for her and take care of her while she recovered, and I decided to suck up my frustrations. 3 days before Christmas, I found out she was cheating on me. She went to work and I stayed home sick. She forgot her phone and I saw an ex-boyfriend texting her. Apparently, I looked into this and she was planning to leave me for him after Christmas and never loved me. I also found out she was sexting other guys on Facebook. Imagine it. 3 days before Christmas, packing up and leaving. Imagine sitting there Christmas morning while everyone is happy and you just had the world fall apart in your own hands. I blamed myself for my actions. I was wrong for some stuff. I have no issues owning up on there. I spent months trying to get back on my feet, and even more months trying to find stable employment closer to home. A year of hardship and frustration, all a painful experience. I had to use every single fiber in my being to get up and fight my physical and mental pain. Fighting burnout syndrome is not fun, but I was determined to get better and not let either her or her mother win. I would have never given them the satisfaction by submitting to my pain or looking to drugs and alcohol to find relief. I knew that 6 to 7 months after the breakup, I stopped giving a crap about relationships and love. I knew in my heart that it would never happen. I stopped feeling sorry for myself, and I started to blame those who hurt me. I never deserved what I got, and I hated those who destroyed my life. Both of those statements are correct. Anyways, I started doing stuff I never got to enjoy, and stopped putting effort into a lost cause of a system which used simps like me for money or personal gain. A year after the breakup, I was doing some research on, feminism stuff. For example, why feminism has destroyed good men, and I found the word MGTOW. It's a beautiful word indeed. I never, knew what it was, so I figured if it's related, I'll check it out. From that moment, I saw the truth. I really saw what was going on. All that time in the year after my breakup, I felt alone and that I was the only one dealing with this pain. I saw that I was no longer alone. I looked more into MGTOW. I started doing stuff I wanted from a new philosophy. I was trying to do stuff to find peace and love, but not because I wanted to. I changed that. I started doing stuff I chose to do because I wanted to. After seeing the horrible crap women have done, I swore them off. That is when things got better for me. I lost a ton of stress weight. I got a full-time job with stocks. I got better physically and mentally. I could actually smile. I could actually smile for once in my life on my own. Something I never thought that would happen. I learned that I didn't need any other gender to be happy. I learned that I myself can make myself happy by breaking the boundaries of women and what they held me back from. Now I got money in the bank. I'm in good shape physically and mentally. I can smile and be happy. I can turn girls down and walk away proudly. I don't have a single worry in the world. A real difference from the years back. I also recently found this community, and he's referring to Reddit, and I read all your stories. I'm happy I found you guys, fellow brothers who also dealt with this nonsense. I am glad I found my peace of mind and those who share my happiness. I fought a 4-year war with 2 horrible women. They may have won battles and put me down, but I won the war in the end. I never stopped fighting, and with all the stress, physically, mentally, emotionally, and all the horrible pain that I went through, I stood up and fought for myself and my freedom. Alright guys, so now I'm going to give my analysis on the story. Remember, I'm not just here to copy something I found off of Reddit or whatever. I'm here to also give my analysis and uncover the good stuff from the story. Remember, the whole goal of MGTOW Stories is for you guys to learn something from this, alright? So, first of all, he put himself in that position. He even knew himself, he acknowledged himself that he was a doormat to women. And when women see this, they say, hey, that's a guy that I can manipulate. That's a guy that I can use. I can use him for money. I can use him for this. I can use him for that. So he put himself in this position. That's the first mistake, all right? He made it clear to women that they could use him. Next, he moved in with the woman. That's a big mistake, and that's the cause of many problems. And that leads to the next point, which is where she unleashed her true side. And this is something that a lot of MGTOW men have shared and seen commonly, according to what I've seen on the forums. It's I've seen so many stories and all that and posts of how these guys that move in with women. They're like, oh, she's so perfect, and they move in with her. It's like, holy crap, what is this woman? Is she like a cousin of Satan or something? Like, oh man, that kind of stuff happens. All right. Next, her financial situation. It was a red flag. It's a financial situation. It can be a big reflection on your character. I understand that everything financially speaking is within your control, but still, how you handle them, it's a reflection of your character. So her not paying the bills, her irresponsible spending, like on drinks, for example, that is a huge red flag. And if there was a point in the relationship where he should have broken up with her, that was it. All right, he should have broken up with her at that point. He should have. Next, the crazy mom. All right, so a crazy mom, it's probably going to get you a crazy daughter. All right, the daughter most likely learned from her mom, and that's another huge red flag. A crazy mom, yeah, that's a big red flag. So he already got this huge red flag of her being financially irresponsible. Now she's got that crazy mom, which the daughter most likely learned behavior from. All right, now we're going to go ahead and jump to the end of the 3rd year, where our brother was talking about how he was suffering from, a burnout disorder, how he was severely stressed out. Look, if a relationship is creating such a negative effect on you, you got to leave. That is another red flag. This relationship was hurting him. It was hurting him. He said he could have ended up in the hospital with how bad he was doing. Yes, he had a job an hour away. Yes, he had to drive, but it was the girlfriend and her mom that made our brother suffer here, not the job, really. I understand that the job, it's, he works 8 hours a day, and he has to drive 2 hours total a day, but that's not really a killer, all right? It really isn't. Really, it's not. It was the girlfriend and the mom that made our brother suffer here. Keep that in mind, man. Next, when the mom and the daughter left the hospital early, that right there is a sign that neither of them, neither the daughter or the mom, care about our brother. He does all the work, and the girlfriend doesn't even care. After he confronted them, he could barely defend himself. He also developed the mentality that it was all his fault. And you all know that I'm doing research for my new podcast on the silent male suicide epidemic. And through my research, I've found out that this is actually a sign of social perfectionism, which is a lead cause for men to commit suicide. A social perfectionist is a person who basically closely identify with the roles that they believe that they have. So in this example, he believes that he has the role of having to provide for his girlfriend and wife, not wife, mother. Excuse me. So here's the thing: he valued them before himself. All right, he valued how others saw him instead of how he saw himself. He valued what others thought of him instead of what he thought of himself. That is a bad thing. And remember, it's the lead cause for men to commit suicide, believe it or not. So, if he valued others above himself, no wonder he felt bad for her, despite the circumstances. She left for a week at her mother's house and left him to do all the work. But because he still valued her and her mother above him, he still felt bad for her, despite the circumstances. And I'll get back to that later. All right? I'll get back to that later. Anyways, the most expected part. Our brother catching her cheating while he was staying home one day. While he was staying sick home one day, he caught her cheating. She left the phone at home, all right? Now, and then basically he caught the ex-boyfriend or whatever texting her, found out she was sexting some other guys on Facebook. Anyways, this is something that I would expect considering the circumstances. Like I mentioned earlier, our brother had made the mistake of setting himself up for a woman to take advantage of him like this. His ex-girlfriend was ready to monkey branch over to another guy. She just stayed with him to suck up his resources and use him in this and that, all right? And I'm not surprised. He set himself up for that. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything, and he even admitted it himself. He set himself up for that, all right? Now, thankfully, moving past that awful relationship that he had to suffer in, our brother here pushed himself through and saw the truth regarding relationships. He began to put himself first. He was finally happy. Putting yourself first is one of the core principles of the MGTOW philosophy. One of the core principles, not just some random thing that we talk about. No, it's one of the core principles, and it's that way for a reason. All right? He took control of his life, and as a result, his life improved simply as a result of him putting himself first. That's it. You know? He simply put himself first, and his life drastically improved. No wonder it's one of the core principles of the MGTOW philosophy. And remember that the MGTOW philosophy is all about helping men. Alright guys, and that wraps it up for the first ever episode of MGTOW Stories. This is my attempt at daily uploads, not a guarantee, but my attempt. It's also a way for me to hope to grow my channel a lot quicker. And remember that this is the 50th video that I've uploaded to the MGTOW Academy YouTube channel. It may not seem like a big number, but I put in so much work into each and every video, and that is a huge, huge number. Alright, so men, remember that your contributions to the MGTOW community is vital. So please do share your thoughts and all that, your analysis on this story in the comments section below. I definitely do appreciate them. I'm confident that everybody else appreciates them as well. Remember, your contribution is important, and you might even surprise yourself with your analysis of the story. I mean, to be honest with you, when I did my analysis, when I was like writing the basic script out, I was like, holy crap, I didn't even know I could analyze it that well, but I did. And, you could do the same thing. So I hope you guys learned some valuable lessons from today's episode of MGTOW Stories. And I should be releasing the next episode of MGTOW Stories tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but of course that's subject to change. I might not even upload one tomorrow at all. That all depends if I can do it. So yeah, guys, hope you like the new series. I really do enjoy doing these. Be sure to turn on notifications Wait, first of all, if you're not subscribed to the MGTOW Academy YouTube channel and you like the content that I'm putting out, please do subscribe. I do appreciate it, but only if you like the content. If you don't, hey, that's fine. It's up to you, man. And if you are subscribed, do turn on notifications now that I have daily uploads coming out. And yeah, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you tomorrow. So guys, remember to keep taking your daily doses of red pills and to stay safe. This is MGTOW Academy, over and out.